What is going on, guys? This is DPS podcast episode number 5. I didn't want to make you guys wait too much longer because Slow-Mo doesn't know how to work his computer at all. You know, every time he tries to join, it boots him out. So not only can he not does he have problems on his own system when he's streaming on his own channel, he also has it when he's trying to join me too. So try to do this solo until the man gets ready. Keep an eye out for him to pop up in here. So what's been going on with you guys for the whole weekend, man? There's been a lot of news, a lot of information going on, a lot of just little things, nothing really big. I mean, PlayStation did show off their PlayStation. Oh, here we go. Slow-Mo just joined. Hi, Slow-Mo. How are you?
I'm doing good. You just started without me.
Well, I was looking at the clock like, okay, 7 minutes is going by. Slow-Mo hasn't joined up. You got to get the people what they want. So
you didn't see my message?
No, I was literally about to text you. Where did you send me a message at on DM, or did you just text me?
On DM.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
So you didn't even look, you just went live. All right, I got you.
Whatever. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, except for I don't know, like I guess my computer just need a restart. The mic wasn't working.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't recognizing my microphone.
It seems to be everything happens to Slow-Mo no matter what when it comes to a stream. It's always Slow-Mo.
I knew that was going to be some kind of comment.
Oh, we already had this conversation.
Even though you've had your issues too, so let's not even start.
Every issue that I've had has nothing to do with anything that I could do myself. Let's just keep that.
Okay, 100. That's 100% false. But we're gonna keep it moving.
So
what's up? What's going on in the chat? Who we got here? We got Carlos.
Carlos and Nate. We got Mumble Rating. We got everything.
Franco.
We got Brap up in here.
What's up, Enrique?
I don't know what Enrique's doing. Enrique, I ain't seen no Brap rants from you, man. What's going on? Thought you would have ranted about those people blowing into controllers and spinning them like Ferris wheels. I was looking forward to that rant, but I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff that kind of happened over the weekend. Nothing really huge. I mean, Monday really didn't turn out like the last few Mondays have turned out. We did hear that, with Phil Spencer talking about a lot of things when it comes to they're going to start showing next-gen games finally on this system, which, 39, 38 days away sounds incredible, but it should have been already had that happen. But that's what happens when you don't have any first-party titles to show off yourself. You're dependent on third-party. So unfortunate for that. So, Slow-Mo, what's been going on, man? Tell the people what you've been up to, what you've been playing, everything that's going on in the world of slappiness.
What the world of slappiness? I don't know about that one, but yeah, I've been good. I've been work has been pretty crazy this week. I've been working a lot. What's up, Vaccine? How's it going, man? I've been playing a lot of games. Even though work has been keeping me busy, I have been playing Genshin Impact, which I dropped a video for yesterday. Game is really amazing. It's free on PlayStation 4, PC, and mobile, Android, and iOS. I think everybody should check it out because why not? I mean, it's a free game. If you don't like it, you just uninstall it. And, only thing you lost was the time you spent with it. So I think it's worth a try. Been playing that, been playing 13 Sentinel. Although ever since I started to get really deeper in Genshin Impact, I haven't been playing 13 Sentinel enough. But I'm going to get back to it soon. I have been playing Rogue Company, of course. Been enjoying that new rogue they got in the game. I really like the rogue's name is Dahlia, and the thing I really like about her is that her special is like this buddy system thing. So you choose another one of the rogues on your team to be your buddy, and if they fall or they get dropped down anywhere within range of you, you can pick them back up like a revive, and you get to share their passive skill. And some of the passive skills for these rogues are really strong. So you just imagine, like, with her great kit of weapons, and that she has like really good skills, and then I mean, her perks are really good, and then she also has that, like, she could take the passive from, say, Lancer, and being able to dodge, roll, and reload her gun at the same time. It's a lot of fun, and playing customs is always a good time. So I've been doing that. I don't know what else I'm looking forward to in games in the next, like, I think I'm pretty good though. I think I'm good with what I'm playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else that I want to play is stuff that's just like not coming out until after the next gen consoles drop. So got a good month to really enjoy these games, and just with all the content that I have, these games have, I don't think I'm going to be bored. I think I'm good. What about you, man?
Yeah, man. I haven't played Jensen, even though I saw that you've been playing and you've been talking about it all freaking weekend. So I'm gonna have to definitely download that game and try it out. Outside of just yesterday, I was playing some Destiny with Luca, and I'm trying to get some stuff for the weekend. And then I jumped in and I was playing. I jumped into Animal Crossing again because I have the new Switch, and I've been playing that, and I've been stuck making this freaking island. What's up? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me not. I've never played it. I'm never going to play it because it's
a first party Nintendo game. That's why you're not going to play it.
Yeah, they just don't appeal to me. But I honestly wish I could understand why it's so addictive to people. I just don't get it. But
it's busy work. Okay. That's all it is. It's busy work.
I mean, you could do busy work in other games that just.
Yeah, but this game, it's like it kind of drives down into that whole like, I feel like I'm doing something to progress, like, in real time, because since the game takes place, like, everything's on a time limit. So like, you have to do certain things at certain times during the day to do it. So you'll mess around and be at work saying, man, I got to take my lunch break at 4:30 because at 4:30, this is where the shop is open and it's only open for 20 minutes. And I got to get in there and get this before it's not available anymore. So it kind of really treats you.
So is that the gameplay loop that they use to hook people? Is that you can only do things in certain time?
Yeah. Yeah, well, a lot of the stuff is only done
compelled you feel compelled to get back on just to do so. See that I don't like gameplay like that.
That's one of the gameplay hooks.
Yeah, I don't like gameplay hooks like that, because it's like, we don't value your time. We know that you may be enjoying this game, but we're going to kind of like draw things out so that you can't do things when you want to do them on your time.
Well,
you have to do it on our time.
They let you fast travel though. They'll let you not fast travel. They'll let you time travel. So you can, if you want, you can skip. You could go up to 30 days in the future or 30 days in the past. So you can jump around. I know people, like, the second day they had the game, they like jump 30 days ahead just so they can get a lot of resources and bring them back. So you can do a lot of different things in the game, but for a lot of the purists and stuff, it's more of, let's do this, let's grind this out step by step. And then, the thing is, once you see some of the fruits of your labor from some of the stuff that you do on the island and stuff, like, there's some pretty incredible feats of, like, man, it's kind of crazy to see what people did in the game and stuff. Like, I mean, look at like Witta's podcast, the Animal Talking. That's built in Animal Crossing. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could literally build a set inside of Animal Crossing and stream it. And it's a talk show, but that's something somebody made in a game that is giving him the ability to, like, literally use it as a sit down talk show. And that's pretty incredible. I mean, does it get as deep as like Minecraft and stuff, because you're building stuff from the ground up on Minecraft and up? I think Minecraft's a little bit more has a little bit more layers to it.
So do you think that a lot of the community for Animal Crossing are people who also enjoyed Minecraft?
More than likely, it's probably a lot of crossover there too. I think it's also a lot of people that it grabs a lot of the people that like the whole city builder type atmosphere. I think it grabs those people too. And then like a lot of people like the Nintendo characters. So the villager and all these other different, I forget, some like drawing blanks of some of the characters and stuff right now, like Tom Nook. Like these are iconic characters inside of the Nintendo franchise that people know and love, and when you see them you recognize them and stuff. So they also have that type of appeal too, and it's good for kids to like get in and like, it's like a really good resource management game. So it's like really good for you to learn how to like manage your time, because it's a lot of stuff that can happen in the game that if you're just sitting around wasting time, the literally the game will eat you alive if you allow it to do it. So it's really good and stuff like that. So outside of that, I've been playing that. And then, of course, I play my Tetris every day, because everybody wonders, like, dude, do you literally play Puyo Puyo Tetris every morning? I absolutely do. Every morning, I play 2 rounds of it. I play Puyo Puyo style, and I play regular Tetris style, battling against the computer. And it basically just wakes me up in the morning. It's like, I literally can't function. Well, I probably could, but I haven't tried it in like over a year. But it's like, for me, it's like that game kind of stimulates me and wakes me up completely. And then I'm like kind of good, because I hate waking up. It takes me like an hour to wake up if I don't do something to like kind of just jar myself to get up. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I mean, it's installing a lot of games and stuff, and I started moving all my games over to my external hard drive too, off my internal, and moving it to my external.
Preparing for the upgrade.
Yep. I took I have a 4 gig and I have a 2 gig. So I put all of the games, like all of my like really big games, on my 4 gig, and then a lot of the like third party games that I don't too much care about, like I put those on the 2 gig, and then I'm just gonna be able to just switch that stuff over and port them as I need to, because I think that's gonna be the way I'm going with this. I'm not spending half the price of a console on a hard drive day one. I can't do it.
But you still have a pre-order for the Series X here, right?
I don't, but I'm doing everything like I do.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, so I mean, did something change? Because
no, nothing's changed. No, nothing's changed, because I'm kind of scared that these systems aren't going to be. I don't think they're going to come out with pre-orders again.
Man, you're really confident. Like I'm just gonna get it. It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna get one. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to be confident. If you're not confident, I mean, well, look, I can be more confident than most people because I work in a store. So if there are extras, I will. If there are some that come up, I will get one. Then, if there's extras in the store when they come out day one, which I highly doubt, I will get one. But when it comes down to like right now, it's like, if I don't be positive, I'm gonna be pissed, because I literally gave somebody the X that I could have pre-ordered because I was being self-conscious of other people.
Well,
so, kind of pisses me off right now, but whatever.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So when you have like a high value product, a product that is going to be sought after by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Pre-order sellout.
They do.
What is the usual way the launch goes? Does it only launch with the pre-ordered items, or is it going to launch with the number of pre-orders plus like 4 or 5 per, or let's say it's a big Walmart or a big Target store, retail store, like an additional 10 to 15 or something? Is it just the pre-orders that come out at launch, and then if you didn't get a pre-order in, you pretty much gotta wait like a month or 2 or 3 weeks? Like, how does that work?
So, well, first of all, shout out to Taz, shout out to Def Floyd in the chat. Thanks for coming through, guys. What's up, Nate? But
what's up, Melodic Punk?
Yeah,
been playing a lot of mess with him.
Oh yeah, we have been. What's up, Melodic? You keep hitting that emergency button, huh? I still hear stories. It's like, we got an emergency. But no, okay, so it's different for different items. when it comes to games for the most part always have extras. The more you pre-order, the more extra copies you get, because they see if a lot of people pre-order, they know that you have a high interest rate in the game, so they'll usually send you a lot more. So if you pre-order like 100 copies of the game, you're more likely to get like 40 or 50 extra copies of it to sell to walk-ins. It's like, I don't know what ratio they use, but that's kind of how they look at it. You pre-order more, they send you more extras. Systems don't work that way, especially during the pandemic, because let's be for real. Even when Xbox One and PS4 came out, when we took pre-orders, once the pre-order cycle was over, those systems, we didn't get extras. We only got what we pre-ordered. Now we did, like, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks later, we did get the next round of shipment of them, and then we instantly sold out of those too. We didn't.
How fast did you get that shipment?
2 to 3 weeks later.
So what do you anticipate is going to happen? Like, let's just take your store, for example. All right. What do you anticipate is going to happen at launch on November 10th and November 12th?
There's going to be the people that are going to lollygag, bring themselves up to the store because they know they got it pre-ordered, and they're going to want to pick up their system. They're going to be trading in all their other stuff, and I'm going to try to tell them to do it early so we're not getting bogged down in one day. But that's what I think is going to happen at first. All of the pre-order people are going to come. You're also going to have a long line of people outside of your door hoping and praying that you're going to have extras. And I'm pretty much telling people right now that's not going to be the case. Now, you never know.
Isn't there like an outside chance? Let's see. Somebody pre-orders the Xbox Series X, okay?
Okay.
They put down $50.
And they want to cancel it?
No. They get there.
Uh-huh.
And say their card cancels.
Their
cancels. Their card declines.
Oh, like they can't afford the purchase that they're buying?
Yeah, like, so they pre-ordered 50. But then they up there, they're like, oh man, yo, I don't even understand what happened. Hold on, let me call my bank.
Okay.
Oh, what word that came out today? So
life got in the way, basically.
Right. So does their pre-order get canceled?
No.
Or does it? So they still get that
72 hours.
What's up, FC? What's up? We got Darkseya, Deathloid Zero. Cool. What's up, guys? How's it going? So it's still, how long does it hold?
72.
So for a Series X, you got to November 13th
to pick it up before it moves to the next
and
person.
For a PS5, you got until November 15th.
Yes, sir.
So really, what people should be doing, so for the 24 people watching right now, this is what, if you haven't got a pre-order for either of these consoles yet, this is what you should do. Go up to a GameStop. Don't call, because they're probably not going to answer.
Probably won't.
Go up to your closest GameStop. If you're looking for a Series X or S, go on November 13th. When that 72-hour period hits, and some of these guys that like claiming they got that money but they don't, they had to make some decisions. They had to either pay for their console or pay for rent. You might get lucky, and on the 15th for PS5, you might get lucky.
Oh man!
Now, me personally, I've secured 0 pre-orders for.
You got a PlayStation yet, have you? Well, you think you're not going to get one?
No, I never said that. I'm getting the PS5 digital. I'm getting the PlayStation 5 digital. What I said was that
talking mess about Taz, huh?
She ain't talking about me.
She must be. She definitely ain't talking about me.
All right. Anyway, I was always going to get the PlayStation 5 digital. Now, what I said was what I was saying was I didn't think I was going to actually be able to secure one just based off of the demand.
Oh, wait. You have to elaborate. What do you mean, Luca? Me talking junk about my friend? What you talking about here? You got to spell that out. I don't care about this scumcast, baby. I want to know what you're talking about now. All right, continue, Slow-Mo.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Slow-mo even giving her googly eyes, like, what the hell's going on here? I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one, and I still want to get Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's just that, like, so where am I going to get one? I really kind of feel like I could just show up. This is some pipe dream where I'm just going to show up at Walmart, and they're going to have like 1 or 2 on the shelf, and I'm like, bet. Drop down my 400, get my digital. Yeah.
You ain't gonna find the digital. Digital's wraps.
Yeah, the digital's wrap, but things I don't want the disc one.
Why?
Because I know I'm not going to use the disc. I have not paid for an actual.
That's because you lazy.
Physical game.
That's because you lazy.
Wow, that's you kind of making some labels here. I'm not lazy.
You don't want to get up and put a disc in your system. I got you. That's lazy.
That's not lazy.
What is it?
Just.
You're disguising it as convenient? Is that what you're going to disguise it as?
Well, that's the word that's accurate. Convenient.
It is an accurate
I get
word,
my controller. I click over to where the game is. I hit launch. There you go. Game is launched. I don't have to go find the disc. I don't. But what about
all the retail workers that depend on you to, spend your money so they can get a cut, so we can keep our jobs? What about us? What about us, Lilo?
What about you guys?
So you don't care about us?
I mean, I do to a degree.
What's the degree? Really? So you care. You care enough to say you care, but then your actions, say that I really truly don't, because I'm too lazy to hit a button on.
I care about you guys, okay? And when GameStop goes out of business, I will be there to help you guys get a new job. But me getting up and go trying to find the disc of a game that I can't find, no. I'm good. I'm just going to have it installed. And I know some people was like, well, what about that? What about that SSD storage, slow-mo? I don't care about the SSD storage because unlike you guys, I am not a digital hoarder where I'm hoarding games that came out in 2014 that you have no intention of ever playing. I am the kind of guy, if I'm not going to play it and I don't plan on playing it anytime soon, it is uninstalled. And then when I do want to play it, I just install it back and actually play it. And when I finish it, I uninstall the game. That's called being efficient. So, hey, I don't care about like storage stuff. Everyone's crying about the storage and how much the expanded storage costs. Hey, look, it costs just as much as it does on PC. Welcome to paying money, big money for quality products and items. It is what it is. So
see, Ryan Landis, he talked about how GameStop cared about you when they ripped you off in trade-ins.
Right.
Listen, Ryan, let's be for real here, man. Let's be for real. People say GameStop really truly rips them off, but people rip themselves off by holding on to sports games that are 7 years old and thinking they're gonna get more than 20 cents for it.
Yeah. Those don't hold no value. But when you have like a really good game and y'all be like $5, it's like, yo, bro.
What's a really good game, slow-mo? How much does the game sell for at the moment that you try to trade it in?
Any really good game, you work there. You know what I'm talking about.
Wait, God of War is the game of the generation.
Let's say I want to turn in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. How much is that going to give me?
What? Well,
game of the year contender.
We might as well just, let's since we're going to do this, let's do it the right way. Share screen. Let's do it the right way.
Wait, Cybernox asked me, do you have any PlayStation 4 discs currently? I do. I have 2. Both of these games, no lie, both of these games are games I bought when I bought my PlayStation 4. Literally, both of the games are Infamous Second Son and Until Dawn. Those are the only 2 discs I have for my PlayStation 4, and I bought both of them when I bought my PlayStation 4.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You know, you could have got it organized with what you would want to do before you started sharing your screen. You know,
calm down.
I'm just saying this looks really janky, but I'm going to continue.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Ryan Landis says, "I love these brand new games they sell that haven't been opened up." I know, right? Like,
actually, hey, wait, hold on. That is actually ending with the new update. So shout out to everybody that complained about it. Shout out to everybody that complained. Listen, shout out to everybody that complained about it because they officially are now just going to have display cases on the wall for all new games. So there will no longer be gutted games for brand new games in the store anymore. Heard it here first. What was that game you said, Slow-Mo? Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
That trash. You said Odyssey?
Wasn't that game a game of the year contender? And you said trash?
$13.20.
Didn't I call it? Didn't I say $12?
How much does that game trade in? How much do you buy that game for, though, Slow-Mo? Let's look.
I just use the game as an example. I don't
No. How much does this game sell for? Probably what, $25
at your store? At your store, probably
$25. I doubt it. Let's see.
This is a waste of time. You already know.
I don't know.
Well, hold up.
So
that's a steel book. I'm about to say, like, what is
that steel book is on
$37, and the trade-in is $12.
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay.
They got to make money somewhere.
For more than double the cost.
They got to make money somewhere. Slow-Mo.
What are you doing to it?
I'm not doing anything to it. I'm not seeing none of that money.
Are you getting a warranty with it? Are you cleaning the disc to make sure there's no scratches on it? Like, what are you doing to make this more than double than what you took in for it? Shout out to Enrique with the $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Slow-Mo doesn't want to help the economy. Slow-Mo, that's true, man. You do not want to help out the little people. Name my job. Why isn't that your job? I didn't run for public office. Slow-Mo, I don't need the help. Look, I don't need to help you guys out. But look at this. But look at I will go to GameStop when it's convenient for me. This is why you buy physical Switch games, because every Switch game you click on that's 3 years old is $33, plus the trade-in boost is going to take it to 43 when you trade it in towards the next gen game. So that's why you buy physical right there. I don't even really care about my Switch like that. Look at that, 33. The only time I have purchased any physical game since these are considered good games, Slow-Mo. Look, 33. Yeah, I see it. Anything that starts with an M is $33. Any physical games have been for my Switch, and it's only been because that. Holy crap! This trades in for $22. Look at this old game, dude. Look at this Mario Kart Wii. $22. Come on, Slow-Mo. Well, look, those games, like the Nintendo eShop, never goes on sale for these kind of games. Yeah, because they believe their games are always going to sell. The only time you can find those games cheaper is physical at like a Walmart where they're trying to get rid of stock. I've got like 2 or 3 physical games on the Switch, and I got them all for like half off at like Walmart or something. So I think I got. What's that? Octopath Traveler I got at GameStop for like $30. So there you go. I actually bought a physical game from a GameStop like 2 years ago. There you go, man. Helping you guys out, helping the economy out. Look at me being a great upstanding citizen, helping the community, all that good stuff. Yeah, whatever. All right. Well, we've been. Well, you got something else to say because we've been rambling for 30 minutes about how you just don't want to help the smaller guy. Just want to always look out for yourself. This is the rabbit hole you decide to go down. Hey, look, I'm done. It's done? Hopefully I can get my PS5 before 2011. What about your Xbox? 2021. What about your Xbox? I'm getting, if I get anything, it would be a Series S as like a supplement to my PC, but I don't plan on getting anything like that until like next year. Like I really don't. That's not a priority. The PS5 is a priority. I got that Xbox Series controller, so I got that blue one that looks fire. I got an extra DualSense for my PC as well, and I'm gonna get a PS5. That's about it. Now, I could go with a Series S as like a supplement, but what I'm gonna trade in my PlayStation 4, of course, and I'm also going to trade in my Switch. I made that decision. I'm just going to trade the Switch in. There's no purpose in me keeping it. I have probably played my Switch.
So you're gonna let Luca win when she keeps telling you that you're not going to finish those playthroughs?
I told her I wasn't going to finish. Like there was no.
I know. Like,
there was no like dissent here. There was no argument. I didn't say I'm not finishing it. I have probably played.
And Nate said almost all my Switch games are physical because I don't trust Nintendo like that.
Yeah, I probably all the games I purchased. I got a good number of them digital on there, and I'll take the L for that because I probably shouldn't have. But I was really high on the Switch a year ago. They were just dropping so much fire that I was all in on.
Well, Slomo, you act like
Fire Emblem 3
houses, you act like it's terrible. I mean, they did drop a WAD in 2019.
Yeah, but then there's been a drought in 2020.
Okay, but look, y'all kill me with this whole. Oh my God, it's been a drought this year, dude. They gave you like 6 games in 2019.
What have you done for me?
Y'all make it seem like, dog. Listen, dog. Most people. That's how you say some. Most people don't play games like you do, Slomo.
All right, what? I'm not talking about most people. I'm talking about me. So for me, what have you done for me lately?
So you're gonna trade in a perfectly good system. Look, this Slumber just can't keep up.
Yo, the Switch holds a great value, man.
You're right, because it's Nintendo hardware. That thing trades in for $200.
Man, I'm covering the PS5 plus taxes once I trade in my PS4 and my Switch. Man.
I thought you were gonna trade in your Xbox One X.
Well, no, I'm gonna keep it because that's my backup when I play with my friends and they don't want to get on PC and they want to play a certain game. Then I'm gonna go jump on that old thing.
Sir, trade in the Pro. You have a Pro. Trade.
No, I don't have a Pro. I don't have a Pro.
What do you have? A base? Oh, so trade in the base. You still get $175 for it. Trade the base in. Trade in your Switch, you get $200 for. Trade in your Xbox One X.
Wait, hold on, just $200
for what?
Just $200?
Yeah, just $200. What you think? Man,
look, I'm not going to GameStop for my trade in.
You better go work it out online.
eBay and sell that thing for more than I paid for it.
Slow-mo, let me ask you something. Who in their right mind doesn't know that? Everybody knows if you are willing to do the legwork yourself, you will benefit from the legwork. But it doesn't work that way for most people. So if you are going to do the legwork, absolutely go out there and, sell your Switch for the price that you paid for it. I agree.
To actually look up on eBay how much a Switch is.
Well, Switches are a little bit more available now. It's more harder to get.
They got more stock now.
Yeah, they're a little bit more available now. So
let me see what the price is. I will trade. I will sell this to somebody this week. $389.99, $380. I see $380s for these Switches. That's $90. That's $80 more than what I paid for.
Now that's making sure that you sanitize it and clean it and make sure that you don't, have.
I got some baby wipes. I got some. I got some. I can
make sure that thing is spick and span, bro. We can't be having people out here,
Look,
we ain't gonna go down that road.
If this what people paying for my look, I can wipe the dust off of it. This what people paying. I will factory reset that thing right now. All right. I don't see a single Switch under $300, and that's what the retail. Okay, now some of these like this one is just the actual console, 0 Joy-Cons, 0 cradle, 0 anything, just the actual Switch, $240.
Oh yeah, see, you're not looking at sold listed prices. You're looking at asking prices. Those are what people are asking
on eBay.
for.
Where do you see the sold?
Okay,
Look,
we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later because you're about to try to go down a whole rabbit hole that we ain't trying to go through.
I'm about to sell the Switch. I'm telling you, this Switch about to go.
So slow-mo. A lot of stuff happened over the course of this week. A lot of stuff happened. You was like, you're so stupid. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend, bro. So let's start with Cyberpunk, man. You know, the glorious Ashton Luca put out a video talking about it, and we're going to talk about some of that stuff real quick here today. Not going to be at big of a long subject because I think we pretty much both agree on a lot of the stuff that's having to say. But then we're going to add a little extra to it on the back end. But Cyberpunk 2077 went gold, brother. How you feeling about it? Think the game's going to be ready? Well, it's going to be ready. But do you think it's going to be ready?
It's going to launch. I don't think it's going to be ready. If I recall correctly, and even though I didn't play it at launch, so I don't know for certain, but I do recall a lot of people who played The Witcher 3 at launch saying it was a kind of a hot mess with bugs.
It was almost unplayable. Almost.
Wow. So I think that considering CD Projekt Red says a lot, but don't really do what they say in regard, and we can probably talk about that a little bit later about some of the things that they went back on, but they're coming in hot with this. Everyone is they going outside the Polish laws to make sure people are working overtime and working 6 days a week. And you know, you do that when you know that your latest playable build's got some issues. And this is a pretty robust game that's doing a lot of things that are elements of things we've seen in other games, but not necessarily seen all together. And if you watch some of that city life, what is it, cyber city, nightlife streams they've been doing, if you watch those, then you see some things like about some of these memories, like these where you can kind of download into someone else's life and their and things they've done already and see different aspects of what happened in a particular scenario, like an investigation. These are things that you don't really see in too many games. And I remember talking with a lot of people who were interested in the game, which is like, yeah, I didn't know they were doing all that. Like, I wasn't really interested in some of this other stuff, but it's okay. When it's just you got so much going on in the game,
right?
It's really difficult to make sure all of that is bug free, it's polished, is ready to go. And if you are doing mandatory crunch from now until launch to make sure this game is as bug free as possible out the door, it's probably going to have some issues. I'm expecting it to have some issues. I'm still going to get it, but I'm expecting it to. I'm not gonna be surprised if I like glitch through the floor or something like that. Like that always seems to be like when I play a buggy game. That's always the one
something
bug
to do with the floor.
Yeah, I always glitch through the floor, just be falling for eternity until I decide to just kill the game and restart it.
I think this game has a chance to be. I think this game has a chance to be. The facial animations have a chance to be glitching out worse than Assassin's Creed Unity did. If you're talking about real bugs, that was a bug, bro. They were straight faces were melting off of characters.
Yeah, that was a horror show, man. Yeah.
It's like, man, can that happen?
Give you nightmares.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. I agree. Me personally, though, I think there's definitely going to be some bugs. I think it's not going to be as bad as people think it's going to be. The biggest thing is a lot of people are just wondering, like, the delay. Why did they just delay it further instead of doing the whole crunch thing? And I just think at a certain point, the government, they're paid by, the Polish government does help with development on some of this stuff. And at a certain point, you bled the government dry.
Help as in they pay salaries for things.
They pay salaries and stuff like that. Yeah, they pay.
But then I mean, look, there's a whole lot going on because I've seen developers on Twitter say things in regards to I don't know if they were talking specifically about CD Projekt Red when they said this, but talking about Polish laws and developers and how they get around it. And I don't know if you really are getting. Well, maybe you are still getting help from the Polish government as far
I think you're
as
getting.
salaries go. But who knows? Who knows? It's all.
All I know is these people about to get
confirmed.
a 10%. I just know all these people about to get a 10% boost on all their royalties and revenue because this game's going to sell like crazy.
And that's another thing that they can't we think in our minds it's going to be great, but then who knows how much that's really going to end up being.
Well, it depends on
in the long run.
because no one knows exactly what the split is. Like, what's the number they have to hit in order to trigger that much revenue? No one really knows that. But I mean, on the outside, think about it. Square Enix thought that 8 million copies of Tomb Raider sold was terrible, and I'm like, huh? 8 million copies of that game sold is terrible. Yeah. Look, man, most developers would kill to have a game that sells 8 million copies on multiple platforms. And so that was crazy.
Or you get something like Gearbox and where those developers for Borderlands 3, they were promised bonuses, and then Randy Pitchford comes out.
Randy got his bonus.
Yeah, he got his. He got his. He got some other bonuses he wasn't supposed to have.
Right.
But then he just hey, look, that bonus it ain't coming. If you don't like it, you can leave. I fully understand people who would rather get their money up front than get some bonus. And there's some cases where I've read articles that talk about in this industry where there's some development houses where they intentionally pay you lower than what the industry average is, which is what happens at Gearbox. They don't get paid what the industry average is, with the promise that you get a higher percentage cut of bonus than you would get anywhere else. And because they have such a reputation or a thought that our games are going to sell so well, when that game comes out, you're going to make up for all that lack of salary you've been getting for years in that bonus. But then look what happens. Randy reneges on you. And so it's just I get people wanting to just, forget that bonus crap. Give me my money up front. If that's a smaller bonus that I don't make as much off of the success of the game, that's fine. But at least I can make ends meet. In the meantime, I don't have to worry about whether this game is going to be selling out, because there are some quality games out there.
Yeah,
that don't sell.
There's a lot of them. Of them. That's why Game Pass exists too.
Right. And there's a lot of studios out there that Microsoft has scooped up that, hey, they make quality games. They just didn't sell. And that's a really kind of messed up feeling when you put your heart and soul into a game and then it gets great reviews and people like it, but just no one bought it. So didn't matter anyway. And your bonus was skimpy. So
and shout out to Brap. He says, watch Cyberpunk flop. That's not happening. That game is going to sell. It's something about this emo. It said elbow cough. I mean, it probably should. It looks more like a sneeze, like you sneezing in your elbow or something. They should just call it dab, but I guess that's
that's what I thought it was. I thought it was the dab.
It is the dab, but they call it elbow cough. This ain't Fortnite. You ain't paying nobody for this. Okay, whatever. Just gonna let that one go. But it probably should have just been elbow sneeze. But there's a lot of people saying stuff in the chat, mumbling. So we got this one. The game looks fun but cool. I'm just not interested. I do like playing RPG games, but I don't want to invest that much time. Destiny. Hey, shout out to you, bro. Destiny ruined a lot of people. Look at me. Look at Luca. Destiny has ruined.
This is the second mention of Destiny in 15 minutes of this podcast, and I just kidding. Yeah.
Well, that's because you found. Look, just because you escaped. Look, we're not gonna go down the rabbit hole. You escaped.
A lot of people don't play Destiny. Just letting you know.
1 million people play it every day.
Okay, there's a lot more gamers than that. So
but
the vast majority don't play
1
Destiny.
million people
don't care about Destiny, and if Destiny just ceased to exist tomorrow, they would just go on with their life like nothing happened.
For a person that don't like Destiny, you like to talk about it a lot.
No, I only mention it when other people talk about it.
But then you can you could just let it go and be like, don't feather the fire.
Stroke the fire. But no, I know you, and I know as soon as someone mentions Destiny, like Dano in the chat, you go on a rant for 5 minutes talking about it. So to nip that in the bud before it gets started.
Who's doing more talking about it right now? Slow-mo's talking about, nipping stuff in the butt right now.
Let's get back on track. So
exactly.
Cyberpunk.
So Cyberpunk. Go ahead.
Do I think it's going to sell great? I think it's going to be buggy when it comes out. But I think that's not. Some games, some developers seem to be immune to those kind of criticisms when it comes to reviews. It just seems like it doesn't matter that it was buggy. It's Cyberpunk. It's CD Projekt Red. Like, this game's going to be in the 90s, regardless. 90 Metacritic, or higher, 90 plus. Bank on that. But
I'm with you.
I think it's probably coming out too late for the VGAs.
No, he said he's making this. Remember, he said making an exception for that game.
See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
He said it earlier this year. He said it earlier. They said it earlier this year that when they delayed the game, I believe I got to look at the article and find
exceptions.
They said they're making an exception for that game to be in there.
So it's guaranteed to be a Game of the Year nominee at least.
Oh, it's absolutely going to be that.
At least people have penciled it in without even playing the game of the Year nominee.
We did that with Grand Theft Auto. We did that with Last of Us. We said
Grand Theft Auto is look. I'll say Rockstar has a much better track record and history with hitting and knocking it out the park than CD Projekt Red does.
Well, CD Projekt Red is what they only made 4 games, so they're like at what 33% because
the 3 Witcher games and what else? What else did they make?
Well, I'm saying then this is going to be the 4th game.
Yeah, so I mean, and honestly, like people really only talk about Witcher 3.
Yeah, because the first one's the combat was worse than Mass Effect. Was worse. Like
I never played the first one.
And we said 3, and Witcher 3 is just as bad as Mass Effect gameplay.
It's not. Yeah, Witcher 3 combat ain't all that great.
No, it's
but
not.
It's better than 2. It makes the game playable.
Oh yeah.
Because 2 was just.
Well, think about it. Just remember this. You said it's better than 2. And 3 is on par with Mass Effect gameplay, so that means
I don't know about comparing a cover shooter to.
You still got to move from point to point, and this jacket it's crazy, bro. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's kind of not really a 1-to-1.
Plus, it was never really mapped for. I don't think they ever really did a good job in mapping it for controller because it was a PC launch only at first.
Which game are you talking about?
Witcher, the first ones.
Yeah, they were PC games.
They were PC games.
They didn't really. Yeah, it's just with this one. I mean, some of the features that I was interested in when they first showed the game, like when they did that first, it was like a 40-minute gameplay showcase they did, and like being able to like have these claws come out and kind of like climb like wall crawl kind of stuff. Like they took that out. I was like, oh man, I really was interested in doing that, and we'll see what happens. Do I think the game is slightly overrated due to the hype?
Lord.
I would say probably, yeah. But
every game probably is slightly overrated.
No, not every game.
Most games are that are this.
Most games are slightly overrated.
No, I'm saying most games that are hyped this much are definitely slightly overrated. But
what other games are hyped this much? There's no other games that get this kind of hype.
Listen, Last of Us was hyped all through the moon, and people did. You couldn't say that game was going to be great. People thought that game was going to be terrible because of all the leaks and stuff. And that game still got hyped through the freaking moon. So
it actually turned out to be better than what the leaks said it was going to be.
But that's what I'm talking about. All games like on the level of this get hyped to extraordinary measures. It just comes up to being is it going to live up to those hypes?
And some of them deliver on the hype.
Oh no, some do. And this game more than likely is going to deliver. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that every game it delivers. I'm just saying games like this always end up with so much hype that there is a big chance that it's more likely gonna like disappoint than it will not disappoint. I just think CG Projekt Red is. I just think this game. I don't know, man. You never know. I'm not gonna speak on it anymore. But moving on from that, I guess we'll just talk about real quick. How do you feel about Jason Schreier and him just throwing shade at them on the day that they announced that their game went gold, bro?
I think it's Jason. He's going to do what he does. He has a avenue that he navigates in, and his avenue is advocating for developers against crunch, calling out developers and publishers for their foolishness, investigating, spilling all the tea. It's what he's famous for. It's what he's known for, and he knows why he is such a popular journalist, probably one of the most popular gaming journalists in the industry right now. And he keeps on message, which is what he's doing. So him, mentioning it once again that those developers are crunching right now, it wasn't a lie. I mean, was it a little uncouth? Sure. But it wasn't a lie. It wasn't like he was lying on them. And some of the reactions from other people, I'll say this for anyone that's listening: don't have any skeletons in your closet and you come at Jason Schreier because he's gonna hit you.
Right.
Don't have any screenshots out there of you looking kind of silly or being kind of two-faced, because he's probably gonna have a screenshot on you. So, and he's not afraid to go at anybody. I mean, it wasn't like a month or two ago where he was going at not Neil Druckmann, it was Cory Barlog and someone else. Someone else that works at Sony. But he was going at Cory Barlog and someone else, and he has his reputation. It is what it is. It's just I'm not shocked at all. And what he's doing, he's not lying about anything that he's saying. Literally all of his critics have an issue with his politics and his opinions.
Right.
They don't have any issue with his reporting. So his reporting is always on point. And that's the one thing that you can't take away from the guy. But there are times where I'm like, dude, no. Like, just like sometimes I'm just like, he goes too far. Now, and this I don't think was the case. I don't think this was a go too far thing. I really don't even think it was that big a deal. But he was definitely ready for the smoke that day.
Oh, he was.
He was ready for the smoke yesterday. Like I almost kind of feel like he tweeted out and he already had his guns loaded, because so it wasn't too long after he was getting quote retweeted by other people that he was going in. So I guess that brings us to Paris from what's the name of his podcast?
I forget to
Gamertag Radio podcast. I got no issues with Paris either. It is what it is. But when you kind of show yourself to be when you're showed that you're not impartial and that you do have preferences, it's you open yourself up to being called out when you go to bat for a company and when they don't need to be defended. They don't need to be white knight. They don't need for you to jump in front of that truck and take that hit for them. you open yourself up to get completely, killed by Jason when he pulls up screenshots of you basically being a fanboy for the company.
I think those two things are they're mutually exclusive from each other, because I think him mentioning basically just them like, I don't know Paris at all. Never talked to him a day in my life. I mean, I just go like, he's genuinely excited about the game. He always talks about it. I mean, he got a freaking cheer out of it. I mean, who cares if he got that? I mean, but the biggest thing is, I think it was just more directed to the fact that Jason tweeted this out on the day that they just announced that they went gold. We already know, everybody already knows the situation about the crunch and everything. It's been well documented at this point. But then just because they say they went gold and Jason comes out and puts the tweet out saying, he puts out the tweet saying what he said, which is, right here, puts up the tweet saying, looking forward to playing this. Best wishes to all the exhausted developers still working long hours to fix as many bugs as they can before release day.
Let's see. What's wrong with that statement?
Look, man, he look, there's nothing wrong. Like, if you want to say in a picture perfect world, there is nothing wrong with that tweet. There is technically nothing wrong with it. He's not lying. He's not wrong or anything, but it's just like that whole saying in your mind. It's like, some things, if you ain't got nothing really good to say, don't say nothing at all. That's kind of what that kind of tweet fell off to me as. It's like, especially if you're the one that broke the story about them doing, you broke the story about them doing the whole crunch thing. So you coming out telling them that, best wishes to the people out there crunching, exhausted from all the long hours.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. He could have said, looking forward to playing this game. By the way, I dropped an article about how these developers are basically indentured servants and can't stop working.
That would have been worse.
They're chained to their terminals, their desks, their workstations. They don't even get bathroom breaks. It's awful. Here's the link to that. Like, if that was his tweet, go in on this dude. Pile on. But for what he wrote, it was, as I agree with Dano in the chat, it was condescending. But that's Jason Schreier. He is the epitome of condescending. Did you see this guy's interview with Yanye?
Oh, I did.
Ridiculous.
It was very ridiculous.
Some of the stuff the guy says, I just be kind of just tilt my head like, really, dude? Really? But that was mild compared to typical Jason Schreier. And as I said, if he's the kind of guy, he will clap back and then block you before you even get an opportunity to realize what happened. And if you're going to go at the guy and you have a platform, Paris has a check mark beside his name, just like Jason.
Yes.
He was more willing to respond to those people than he is a slow-mo backslap or a Gaming Forte. We come at him and he's just going to block us and act like it didn't even occur. Yeah. Paris goes at him. He brings up the fact that Paris is getting all kinds of Cyberpunk swag and looking like, the goofiest the goofiest California raisin in that one picture. Let me stop.
But it's disappointing, but not entirely surprising to be accused of having an agenda. But influencers get free cheers from a company involved. My agenda is to report the video game industry as fairly and honestly as I can, and to not take swag from companies I cover. So let's just break this sentence down. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the man coming out and this, throwing shade. It happens a lot. But he said right here, I'm not surprised, to be accused of having an agenda by influencers. And then he talks about the cheer. Okay, but the cheer has nothing to do with him basically saying, dude, why bring this up? And they just talking, they're celebrating that they're finally done with the game.
Something to do with the fact that Paris felt the need to come at him about that. Because plenty of people could have read Jason's tweet and was like, that's unnecessary, kept on scrolling. Paris felt the need to jump in.
Oh, well, it's the back and forth that we always talk about. You know, a response. If you have a response, it's going to be a response given. I mean, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is right here on this line.
I think what Jason is saying is that you felt compelled to respond to me.
Well, he's going to give you the smoke.
Yeah, because of what CD Projekt Red has done for you, and but so. Yeah.
But this is the thing. He's making it seem like he's above all this when he's not.
Oh, he's not. No, he's not at all.
He's not above
it.
It's my agenda. It's my agenda to report the video game news, the game news industry. I'm looking like you already did this. You already reported on this a couple of the days ago. So the fact that you're still talking about it lets me know that it wasn't enough. My man want to throw smoke at me. I'm about to throw smoke right back at him. So it's kind of crazy, but look, man, we all know Jason Schreier is all about that smoke. Who was that he went against a couple months ago that he got into
Cory Barlog?
Yeah, Cory Barlog,
the lead director for God of War. I mean, it wasn't just him. It was him and someone else.
It was him and Nick. It wasn't him.
It wasn't Neil. It wasn't Neil.
It wasn't Neil. No, it was Neil Druckmann. He was like a part of the conversation, but he wasn't in it.
Yes,
who was the other person?
Another director that works for a Sony studio. I forget who it was. And they both were like, we kind of feel like, and it's true what they said. They kind of insinuated he's a bully. He is. He's a bully because he understands where his position is in the industry and that he has power. Not in the sense that he has power over like the 4 studios to do things, but he can basically make their work life a living hell,
right?
If he starts reporting on things that their employees tell him. And because he's really good at keeping secrets and keeping the names of these people out of the public eye, you're never going to know who said what. Everyone knows I got an issue with my studio. I don't like how things are going. They said this and then they did that. I'm gonna go talk to Jason Schreier. And he's got a track record of breaking stories on crazy things that have happened at BioWare, Naughty Dog, CD Projekt Red as well, and never divulging who he got this information from. So yeah, he's got a level of power. And I remember he said something to, it wasn't him. I'm sorry. Let me not attribute this to him. Right. But I think it was the guy someone who works at Kotaku when he was still at Kotaku, and they were interviewing Phil Spencer. And Phil Spencer didn't even say any. I think there was a question about crunch. And Phil Spencer was like, "Well, look, I don't work at the studios, so I don't see crunch happening, but I don't think there's crunch going on at our studios. And if there is, we're going to address it." And why you gotta leave it there, yeah?
Because you California raised.
But like the guy at Kotaku said, "Hey, well, just like basically said, well, if there is, let's let you know, we going to report it on you. Don't let there be nothing like that because we'll we got the smoke kind of deal." And it was just like you could kind of tell like Phil took it the way everyone else took it. Was like, okay, like what was that? Like that's unnecessary. Like why are you going there? But like yeah, he's a bit of a bully. But other people who don't have easy counters to them saying something like Paris should have spoke up on Jason. Not Paris. Paris got Paris wasn't ready for the smoke.
No, he wasn't ready for it. So yeah, so we already know where that lands. So let's move on from the California race. Let's just move on from that. So Homa, what have you heard about this right here? Xbox is overheating. Xbox, brand new system that's coming out in 39 days. It's It's supposedly oh no, I hear it's real. I hear it's true. I hear it's absolutely true.
So people got those test units and that weren't even the finished product,
and they were overheating.
When people say they were overheating, like I heard there was one person had touched the top of it and was like, "Oh wow, that's hot," and that was it.
Now there's a reason, and like I heard this from some other people and stuff, but yeah, I heard that this is actually a real thing, that this is actually happening.
So Xbox Series X's were overheating and shutting off.
Where we're shutting down, and it's supposedly it's not because the system itself was over. It wasn't because the system was running hot just to run hot. These people had them in smaller enclosures than they needed to have them in, and as you can see, all of the air comes out of the top and back of the system, and they were suffocating the system.
I was going to say,
and that's why they were shutting down. Supposedly,
I did see in one of these influencers in one of their videos, I saw them put the Series X in like one of those little cubby hole things, like in their entertainment center. And I remember I was just looking at it like, that's a real bad position to put that. It was like a very quick 2 second cut in their video of it being in that little cubby area, and it was like maybe 2 inches of clearance from the top of it to the top of this wood block. And I'm just like, yo, why would you put that there? The only venting for this console is at the top. Like, why would you put it in an enclosed like area, like where the heat's just going to go up and then come back down? So I think that now, if it's like, if there are reports of it overheating and it's like out and open, like if I was to have one, I would put it, because the way my TV stand is set up, I got one of those like real long TV stands now, like your HD TVs. They don't have like the center mass platform hold it on the TV on the entertainment center or TV stand anymore.
Right.
They got like the 2 little prongs on the end, so now everything's real long now. But I wouldn't put it under like where I had my PS4 and my Xbox One X at, because there's just not enough clearance. I would put it like beside my TV or slightly behind it or something, so that it would get that air. But it's just, who knows for certain if it's a problem. These are test units, so it's no guarantee that whatever issue that was happening with those is going to happen with the actual Xbox Series X.
Right.
That people have been pre-ordering when it comes out, but I really hope it's not the issue, because that would really suck. I would really hate to get a
We don't need overheating. We don't need overheating issues again.
Yeah, a $500.
It would cost more. It will cost more than $1 billion if that was the case.
Yeah, and I also kind of feel like why would you design it this way if you weren't certain? Because the whole thing's a big heat sink, right? I mean, so it's just like, why would you? I don't know.
Well, they designed it. Look, let's be for real. The system is not designed to be in a cabinet. It's not.
No, not at all.
You wouldn't stick. That's the thing people not realizing. You wouldn't stick your PC inside of an enclosed cabinet. You wouldn't do it. It's because it's not enough space for you to vent out the heat from all sides. And this system is built that way.
Now that's it. When they first showed it and we realized that was a new console, I said to myself, I was like, people ain't gonna know where to put that thing.
Yep.
And it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get a lot of people complaining about this. My Xbox Series X breaks down all the time, man. I knew Microsoft was gonna make another piece of crap. This is another red ring of death all over again. Where do you have it? Oh, I got it. I got it in a small cabinet. I closed the door on it. Like what? Like why? What are you doing?
Open up that. I bet if you opened up that door, you could cook a grilled cheese sandwich in there.
Exactly. You turned it into a grill.
Like what? Why is it 102 degrees in here?
Let's cook some ribs in there. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. So, but that's the nature of things.
It's gonna be the same thing with the PS5 too, though. PS5 gonna be the same exact way. If you have these systems are pushing out so much power If you have them in enclosed areas, you're going to have a problem. It sucks. I'm telling you, why people are out here buying these TVs, you might want to start thinking about buying new entertainment systems with them, because the setup you have already, if you wanted to be conducive to what you already have, needs to change. So
I think most people's setups, and I kind of maybe
most people have open setups. Not everybody has a cabinet on the wall.
Yeah, that's real old school kind of setup from like the 80s and 90s kind of deal. Like I think for the past decade, people have been more going towards, I'm either going to hang my TV on my wall.
I got my stuff sitting on the IKEA table.
Yeah, or I'm a buy a TV stand table and put it there. Now those also like, cause like as I said earlier, mine like under where the TV would go, that those little shelf areas for my TV stand, neither of the PS5 or Xbox Series X, or probably not even the Xbox Series S, would be able to just stand up in there. Which is why I said, like, if when I get the PS5, it's just going to be off to the side, maybe slightly behind my TV.
Right.
No problem. But that's just me using common sense,
right?
or just lay the thing down, like lay it down. It doesn't look as cool when it's laid down, but hey, just be smart, people.
Yeah. So just don't block all the vents. Don't treat it like a tortilla. Don't treat it like a hot dog. Don't do all those things with your system when you get it. Treat it like you want to be treated. Have the air conditioning on when it's hot as heck outside and you're playing something like, I don't know what game's going to really push it. Like Cyberpunk, probably. If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk on the 4K resolution at ultra presets, make sure you got a little bit of air hitting that thing. You never know.
And Racer, shout out to Racer. He said, "Why do I get the feeling that these consoles are going to have issues?" And because Racer, they are going to have issues, because that's what happens with the first batch of a new build or a new product on the market. There's always an issue. Because they still got to work the kinks out. And that always happens in like the second shipment or so, or maybe a year later, they start to figure some things out and they start to change some things, or maybe they get a better manufacturer for a certain part inside of the system. No different than what it was with the original units, but just maybe a more quality part. I can't remember which PlayStation it was, but one of them had an issue with the disc tray. I feel like it was the PlayStation 2, but I can't remember. But there was an issue with the disc tray, and the first shipments of them were really, really bad quality of build, and they figured it out and they fixed it. We all know the rear ring of death with the 360. A massive number of the first year or so or two of the 360s had an major issue, but then the later ones got it figured out. So it's something that I think if you are into electronics, you're into technology, and you are willing to be the guinea pig for the first units, it's just something you're going to have to just deal with. You want to be a first adopter, then this is part of being a first adopter. Those who wait don't have to deal with those issues, but they also didn't get a chance to experience what you experienced that day one.
Yeah, so I agree. Yeah, that's what I feel about it, man. Just take care of your stuff, and your stuff will take care of you. And these systems are probably going to have problems, so just make sure you have a warranty, or make sure you have Microsoft or PlayStation on speed dial. And the fact that all this COVID stuff is still going on, you can't expect. I mean, you want to expect, but you kind of got to be a realist about it. It's going to be a lot of stuff that's not going to be right this holiday season when it comes to the stuff that we purchase, because a lot of it's being rushed out just so it can be here for the holiday, because that's the biggest shopping days of the year. Yeah. So, just be beware. If you ain't got to buy nothing, don't buy it. But if it's something that you truly want, just think about that when you're making your purchases and stuff.
Yeah. Just know what you're getting. Dr. Soraka says in the chat, of course, they're going to have issues. A lot of stupid people are first adopters. And I think these people are only stupid if they actually felt like it was going to have zero issues. Like then that's just not being an informed customer and consumer. I think if you assume the risk that you understand that being the first adopter of something is going to end up having it where you may have some issues, you're taking that risk. Hey, that's a part of being a first adopter, and you should accept that risk. And if I'm not saying be happy or not be upset if your system overheats and stops working, it's still under warranty. Right. Send it back to Sony / Microsoft, get you another unit. But just understand that that comes with being a first adopter, and it's not exclusive to the gaming industry or these two companies and platform holders. It happens in all industries and all products. It is what it is.
Yeah. Did you see this NBA trailer?
Yeah, look, I'm not even into 2K, but I was like, man, this looks good.
Bro. Listen, bro. Let's be for real. I love basketball, and this is the first time I can tell you when we always talk about game design.
Yeah, they really nailed his handles.
Like this scene right here when he's running into the arena.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't. This will melt your Xbox One. This scene right here, where he's literally walking into the arena, would melt. There is so much stuff. Why?
It's
going
the memory.
Exactly.
The use of memory for this crowd is. I mean that crowd looks. They don't look real, but the animations and the amount of detail in the crowd is something that like you. That's. Yeah, you just can't do that on current gen consoles. It makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if they can, when we get on Discord, this type of stuff will work.
They absolutely nailed Steph Curry's handles.
Yeah, they did. They killed it. It's like the gameplay. I mean, like I said, the problem with 2K has never been the gameplay. I mean, not the gameplay. It's never been the graphics. It's always just been the stuff they implement in the game. Look at the ray tracing on the court, bro.
It's a little much. It's a little that's a little too shiny.
they shined it up. They shined it up a lot. The fact that they were able to capture that crowd like they did and running on the court and seeing all the different elements on the court, that's what game design is. Like that is something you would not see on a PS4 or an Xbox One. You won't see it because it's too much memory. So that's the one thing that I wanted to bring to people's attention on that one.
You think this justifies the price hike?
The $10? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If for that they literally didn't just up the res of the game. They literally went in and added stuff to the game that was not going to be there before. So I think, look, man, if you were smart, you got the Brian edition, you ain't have to worry about that.
Last gen, when it came to cross-gen games, and then for a particular game, it being a completely different build for the next-gen version compared to the last-gen version, did they charge extra for that? No, I don't think any game. Thinking about Shadow of Mordor, Titanfall.
Listen. Look, they can't stand me. Go ahead.
That had a completely different build for both of the next gen and last gen version. Charge you more for the next gen version. So I think this is 2K and Take-Two being 2K and Take-Two.
Absolutely.
I don't care because I don't.
Well, I have the $100 edition, so I get it for free.
That's also another reason why it doesn't matter, because who really cares if plays 2K and doesn't get the version?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's not a big deal. I mean, like I see what they can't stop me saying. I mean, not stop me. Who was it? He said Oh yeah, he said Forte stop fanboying out. It should be a free upgrade. It should be a free upgrade. It definitely should. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I think every game, for the most part, should be a free upgrade unless it has the word remake in front of it. I even think remaster should be because,
Antonio, we appreciate that. Have a great night, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, man. Thank you. I think even remasters should, be free upgrades, especially if there's stuff that, came out in the last 2 years. We're not going to really dive into that whole Spider-Man thing. Everybody knows how we all feel about that. But when it comes to like certain other games and stuff, nah, man, just give us free upgrades because that's what we get on PC. I guarantee you the PC side of 2K ain't going to have to pay for that because they're going to just give them a free upgrade on it. But
it's going to be a patch.
It's going to be a patch in. So I agree 100%. But if you're going to pay for it, bro, that look good. At least you won't feel bad from what you got because it looks phenomenal. And if you're just a person that just casually just plays the game and you see that and you look at your Xbox One or PS4 version and they say, oh, give us $10 more and you get this, everybody going to do it. They all do it.
Dano in the chat says the game's not coming out on PC this year. Is that true?
Really? I didn't look and see.
I don't play 2K, so
I didn't look on PC. I was thought normally it does come out on PC every year. I mean, that could be. That's weird though. Why would you take it off PC when it's probably the closest it's ever been to what the PC version can give you?
21, right?
Yeah, 2K21. That's weird if it is, but
I see something.
Yeah. That thing's coming out on there. We ain't got nothing to worry about.
It's $59.99.
Absolutely, it's $59.99. They ain't gonna charge more for that. You gonna get all the same benefits of the same game that everybody else buying on Xbox Series X and PS5.
PC guys do not play that. You gonna charge me what?
No, I'm just gonna. When these new systems come out, 2K gonna have an update for PC. That's what's gonna happen. So, look, man, it looked good though. That's all I really want to bring. That was the first time I seen with these new systems. And the funny thing is, people call that a PlayStation commercial. I also saw it with the Xbox logo at the end of it. So I don't know who the heck is marketing that game, PlayStation or Xbox, but it looks like it's the same on both. But you sent this to my attention when we were talking about Topic Slow-Mo, talking about Bethesda's collection got leaked on the Xbox Series X. What can you tell us about it, bro?
Yeah, so it looks like there are going to be collections. And I don't know any more beyond this so far, but it looks like they're only listed for Xbox and PC. So it looks like, as of now, that...
What's going on, Saudi?
These collections are not going to PlayStation or Switch because some of their games show up on Switch somehow. But so
do they really?
Yeah, they
do they actually run?
Bruh. Splash Damage somehow, I think with Splash Damage, got both of the signs to run on the Switch. And the way they did it was they actually had to make not a completely different build, but a different build of the game where they kind of put walls in places where walls weren't on the original versions in order to cut down on memory and cut down on some of the detail in the environment in order to make it playable on the Switch. It still kind of sucks.
Right.
They do have some games that go there, but it looks like this is just going to be on the Series X, the Xbox Series XS, and that's it. But like they're talking like a Arcane collection of their games. They're talking Wolfenstein. So like the Wolfenstein games for the Arcane collection, Dishonored and Prey together. So a lot of people seem to like those games, and they're the better quality games that Bethesda has. So this is kind of a very easy way to get people to get more content out when you don't have any first party coming out anytime soon, to kind of get something that's kind of exclusive to your ecosystem. Now, who knows how this, like, if it's just literally just those games packaged together, then it's just like, so what? I mean, those games are going into Game Pass anyway. What's the big deal? But if it's like actual remasters of these games where they're taking advantage of the hardware, then hey, now we're talking about something that's a little bit more of a quality title going to your ecosystem that no one else is going to be able to get. But then again, this still isn't a huge deal, but it is something to take note of.
Yeah, shout out to Bounty Boom with the $5 super chat, just showing support. I have to go, brother. You have a good night. You're always in the comment sections in the videos, so I really appreciate everything you do on the channel, man. So you have a good night, and we will definitely chalk it up on Twitter and next time that you're online and everything. Yeah, Slow-Mo, I agree 100%. I think not only are they giving you a way to play these games in Game Pass, but like you said, there are a lot of people that Game Pass isn't going to be the number one way that they're going to play their games for a while, you know, even knowing like for certain people like me and you and a lot of people that are in the chat right now, that seems like the only way you should play your games for Xbox. There's going to be those people that say, hey, I like still owning my games. And this will be a way for you to get all of those games that they're releasing in these collections for a really cheap price. I mean, you're talking about each one having 4 games in it, and all of the games that were in those packs are going to retail normally when they first release for $240.
Yeah,
and you're getting for what, 40 to 60? They're probably not going to be $60 games. It'd probably be 50 or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it might be 60 for like.
Well, no, it might be 60 for certain ones.
It also depends on what they're doing to them. Because if it's just the game and it's just all it's getting is the unoptimized improvements that come with better hardware, then that better not be $60. But if it's like, even though Wolfenstein Youngblood had ray tracing, but I don't know anyone who actually wants to play Wolfenstein Youngblood. But let's say if they added ray tracing and all the visual improvements that Youngblood had to Wolfenstein New Order and the New Colossus. Is it called the New Colossus? I can't remember.
Yeah,
those two. I played those two. Yeah, I played those two. Those two are really great games.
Those are two of the best ones.
Yeah, they did that for those games. I'm like, man, I might have to jump on that. If it's, I don't really care about Arcane. Like Arcane's a quality studio, but their games never really resonated with me like that. Dishonored, I played Dishonored 2, couldn't get into it. Prey, I got Prey. I couldn't get into it. I respect them as a quality studio because people like their games, but for me, not really for me. But if those are remastered and taking advantage of next gen features and stuff like that, then they're all running at a minimum 60 frames per second. That's awesome. Definitely do that. That's something that can kind of fill the gap while they're waiting for some first party content to come through. But by the way, something else that I saw recently, and I forgot to send this to you. My bad. But
are you good?
It's sorry about that's my kid.
Kids are kids.
There are 2 games that are unannounced that might be announced soon, coming from the Bethesda side of things. One is a unannounced AAA game being made by Arcane's second studio. So Arcane has 2 studios. They have one in France, Lyon, France. They have another one in Austin, Texas. Now the Austin, Texas one, Lyon, France is the one that's doing Deathloop. So we already know what they're working on. They're working on Deathloop coming out next year, exclusive to the PlayStation for like 3 months or something. The other one is an unannounced game that the Austin studio has been working on for a minute. So that might actually be announced soon. And then, so that's a AAA game that they got coming out that might actually just be exclusive to the Xbox and PC ecosystem. The other one is, now I'm blanking on who the other one might be. I think it's Machine Games. No, it's not Machine Games. It's ZeniMax Online. ZeniMax Online is an actual studio. They're working on an unannounced AAA game, and it's apparently not using the creation engine. They created their own engine that's completely new for this unannounced game that no one knows about. So those are 2 games that might be announced soon. ZeniMax Online, I don't know what I might have to look up what they've made because I haven't really I think they are the ones that work on Elder Scrolls Online. So if man, it's funny, I just looked up their website and I saw a little screen, like a little video of showing their building in Rockville, and I've actually driven past there many a time. I used to work out there, but yeah, I think they do Elder Scrolls Online. Yes, they do Elder Scrolls Online. So that people enjoy that. I manned the Elder Scrolls, so who knows what this other game is going to be. But those are two games that they got something coming out soon. So, but this is what, like, I think is what's really, really not being talked about with this purchase. A lot of people are zero focused in on the Bethesda purchase for Fallout and Elder Scrolls proper and Doom, and if those games are ever going to PlayStation again, and not really thinking about the fact that a lot of their better quality studios that use better engines than the creation engine that put out quality titles that just didn't sell that well come from the published side of things, of the smaller studios that they have. And those studios have been working on stuff for a while. So this could actually turn out to be where they're going to have some content coming a lot sooner than we think. Because when we first saw the purchase, it's just like, well, that's cool.
Right.
For 2023. In 2023, man, Game Pass going to be fire. Right?
Right.
But it might be, hey, maybe late 2021, 2022 that you start to see these titles, or at least they get shown. And if we see these titles in the state where you're seeing gameplay, actual gameplay, then yeah, it's probably coming sooner rather than later.
Well, I think that's what we're going to get during our last topic, where Phil Spencer kind of highlighted that there's going to be not a third party, but another showcase. Well, actually, it will be third party because there are no first party games. But they're going to showcase a lot of the next gen games that people want to see on the next gen system. So that's definitely going to be a thing. But I think, like I said, this is a good thing. I think overall, having Bethesda having this ready, this lets you know that we already know that this acquisition has been years in the making. Like, we heard the first rumor back in 2018, and that looks like that's where all of the stuff started at. So knowing over probably the last 6 to 7 months that they knew this was going to be something that was going to get finalized, they just had to go through the proper channels to finish it. They probably already started development on making something like this already. So we could see something like this within this calendar year. Hopefully. I mean, granted, for people that already got a chance to play these games, it wouldn't be anything new to you. But for a lot of the people that are coming back to the Xbox platform, that are thinking about making Xbox their home when it comes to third-party games and just keeping their PlayStation for first party, this might be a good opportunity for people to jump in. So,
but then here's the thing: is that, like, you have to account for the person that's just like, wait a minute, so why would I buy an Xbox then? If it's just for third-party games, they're third-party games that I can play on either. I could play on either the PlayStation, where I'm going to play my first-party games, or PC if I choose to go that route. If I choose to build or purchase a pre-built PC and play them there, so it's
always going to be a tricky situation on that. But I mean, ultimately, Microsoft doesn't care.
They don't. They don't care. They care about, are you signed up to Game Pass or not?
That's it. That's all they care about. As long as you win Game Pass, that's all that matters.
The long and short of it, that's the alpha and omega of their thoughts.
Of their thought process. So
the beginning and the end. Are you signed up?
All right. So moving on. 2 topics left. Did you get a chance to look at any of this foolery that was going on in these events for PlayStation? I'm not trying to say
I saw snippets of stuff, right?
Like
some of the stuff I saw, like dudes blowing into controllers. Look, man, look. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Go ahead.
Right now. If I get my PlayStation 5 and the requirement to continue on in the game is for me to blow into the controller, I'm not finishing that game. I don't care if I'm alone in my house and no one's going to see me blowing into this controller. I'm not going to do it. Uninstalled. I'm done. I am not doing that. It's weird. I'm not, and I just don't care. I don't care how people feel about it. You can blow into your controllers. You can put that whole thing in your mouth and deep throat it if you want. That's your controller and your business, and you how you feel to treat your controllers and how consensual you are with that is up to you. I don't do my controllers like that. I respect my controllers. There's going to be Artemis. There's going to be none of that in my household, and I ain't doing it. So that weirdness aside, I did see the gameplay for Godfall. The guy that was playing it clearly has never played the video game before in his life. The dude was just like, I'm like, he's just running directly into attacks. I'm like, dude, you don't see this guy with this like huge heavy hammer, like cocking back into the Middle Ages to hit you, and you just keep running directly into him. It's just like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, can you dodge? You ever heard of parry? Like, I don't understand. Dude was horrible, absolutely horrendous at the game, but it looked good, and I'm still interested in playing that on PC, of course. But there was some talk, and I didn't look into it, about like it was potentially running at 120 frames per second, which we wouldn't see that looking at YouTube videos, of course.
No, definitely wouldn't see that.
Whether that's the truth or not, I don't know. All I know what I did is that someone from Counterplay Games, who is the developer for Godfall, said that they're still optimizing even now, and it's like they don't have the actual setup, like that setup, but the actual frame rate locked yet, so they don't know what it's going to be.
Right.
So whatever. The low screens look good. You know, I guess the part of the good thing that came from that guy getting slaughtered by random enemies in the game.
Yeah.
It was that like we got to see how quickly it loaded his stupid behind back in there to get killed again. So you know, it loads fast. That's awesome. I don't know how I feel about them in this controlled environment thing. Like I really will prefer how Xbox did it, where they just gave it to people who have followings and was like, you know, like they did tell them, could you like, we embargo some things, like don't show or talk about the UI yet, maybe because it's not quite finished. Maybe we're making some changes to it. Who knows? But like, talk about these things, and it's, you know, you can say whatever you want. Cool. Like this whole controlled environment, like I almost kind of feel like they got like armed guards or on both sides, you know, outside the camera, like, you know, just like, you better not get out of hand, brother, you know, like that kind of stuff. It's just like, what's happening? So I really I'm actually going to do a video about this, because I'm really just like giving the side eye to both Microsoft and Sony going into the launch of these systems, just because both of them seem to be really like stumbling in certain areas, and always the exact opposite areas for both. Microsoft, Xbox is stumbling on the games front. Can you show? I know you ain't got no first party games to show.
They ain't got no first party games.
Can you at least show a third party game?
Well, they don't. Well, they're probably not ready. Look, Cyberpunk got a crunch. They had to crunch all the way to the finish line.
It comes out in less than 2 months. Like, what do you? Come on, show.
I truly believe. I truly believe the reason you haven't seen some of those games is because a lot of that stuff just was not ready to be shown. Like they show it on PCs. It does, even knowing they are spec to run on the PC, they still have to convert it over to run on the new systems and stuff. So, and I don't think any of that has Assassin's Creed went gold, and that comes out before Cyberpunk. What about Watch Dogs? Is that getting delayed? That comes out in 2 weeks.
I don't understand how you haven't seen a single AAA game running on an Xbox Series X that hasn't already come out yet. It's just like my mind is just boggled by that. and Sony over here acting like the PlayStation 5, like you got to have a top secret security clearance with a polygraph and all this other stuff in order to actually be in the same room as one. I'm like,
you can't even. You couldn't even touch it. You couldn't even touch. You couldn't even touch the system.
Is it going to disintegrate?
You can't even touch it. It's like we don't want no fingerprints. We don't want fingerprints on the glossy part of the black. We don't want.
What do you think is going to happen when people buy it?
They're going to realize that it's.
I'm sorry, they already bought it because they pre-ordered it. It's just like, yo, what are y'all doing out here? Like, it's just
they don't want people to know that the system truly wasn't really a system, that it was a box on top of a table that had cables going into the back to make it light up, and the actual thing was underneath the desk.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that, man. You
hey, I'm just conspiracy theories all day. Look, Slow-Mo.
Just like, but this is really the strangest next generation launch I've just ever seen, and I know partially the portion of this might be.
Yeah, look, Razar said he don't even think the systems were on. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Those may not even been real systems, bro. They won't even let you touch it, bro. Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is the thing I was talking about earlier, Slow-Mo. This is the thing. But this is the thing I was.
No European or American.
Well, I know why I have a good feeling why they only went with Japanese. I do have a feeling about that. I think the whole reason they did that is the same reason why they are releasing in America first. They already know pre-orders are already gone. Whatever they have out is going to sell no matter what because it's already out there in the world. They know they have a fight on their hands when it comes to selling the PlayStation 5 in America against the Xbox, because that's Xbox's home territory. PlayStation feels like they could dominate in other areas. That's why they feel like they could come out later, like a week later there. They know they already had a Japanese market on lock when it comes to PlayStation over Xbox, but they know they still have a fight against Nintendo because more people walk around with handhelds there, and they know that, well, Xbox really doesn't have a presence here, and they're taking that for granted. So they're saying we can give it to our Japanese native landers and say, hey, demo this system, show people what all the features that you can actually do, show them some gameplay and stuff, so it gets it a little bit more hype over there for those people, and they get more in line to say, oh, you know what, I do want to get the PlayStation 5, because PlayStation already assumes that people aren't going to buy Xboxes over there no matter what, just because of the way that the trend has been going. Now, to me, that's kind of a huge mistake, because I think Microsoft doesn't care about selling the system over there. They want to get everybody with a phone in their hand to be jumping on xCloud so they can play all the games that way. So that's the thing that Microsoft is, that's their direction. But I think Sony is kind of backwards in it, because they're fighting a fight that they know they already won when it comes to like overseas, when it comes to the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox, but they're literally giving up ground when they don't have to. If they just come out and talk, like, why not talk about what the UI looks like? Why not tell us what the size of the hard drive is on the digital PS5? Why not let the YouTubers touch the system and say, oh, how heavy does it feel? Is it light? Is it really heavy? When you lay it on the side, does it look awkward or anything? Why don't they let them do stuff like that? Why won't they show off all of the different UIs and stuff like that? It's just a whole bunch of stuff that is really weird for a system that's releasing in just over 40 days. And I don't get that. And Microsoft, to their credit, their message has always been the same when it comes to their system. They are very open with the system. Now, granted, we all know about the games. The games have been a problem. And if you haven't heard, check out my video. I dropped it on the channel earlier today. It went over a lot of this stuff about why you shouldn't buy these systems unless you have a reason to buy them. But we know why we know what their situation is. They don't have the games to support us right now when it comes to first party. They're leaning heavily into Game Pass and to third party. And guess what? That's a smart move for them, because that means if you buy an Xbox day one, you don't have to buy games for it. You literally can play all the stuff that's out right now with the exception of some of the newer third-party stuff that's coming out on your Xbox without having to spend a single dime other than the subscription that you either already have or through $15 a month through Game Pass Ultimate that gives you all of that stuff. And that also includes EA stuff that's going to hit on the same day as the system. PlayStation, on the other hand, yeah, we're getting Demon's Souls day one. We're getting Miles Morales day one. But what else are we getting? We know Godfall, we're getting that day one too. So what about all the other stuff?
Things,
the content side of things, they're fine on. But what about we still don't know about the system?
All they need is Miles Morales and Demon's Souls at launch. That's literally all they need right now. But for as far as content goes, but yeah, when people want more information on the system, yeah. Think we lost Forte. He was kind of botting there for a second. Oh, now you're back. You're back. I'll let him get himself situated. Yeah, they're fine on the content side of things. That's not going to be an issue. B Money in the chat says that this is the same thing they have done in previous gens. You know, I'm old B. I don't remember. I remember the lead up into the launch of the PS4 and PS3s and 2 and 1s like that. So I can't remember if this has all been the same. But I just think that the more we get into newer generations and more times that like in this, what's up, man?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. In this age of social media, that people are looking for so much information, and it's better to get ahead of things and show things instead of waiting, just because back in the day, that's what you did, and allowing narratives to run that aren't true. And then when the truth comes out, there's a side that's disappointed, and then there's a side that feels betrayed. For example, I mean, like we could talk about the whole generation thing.
But before you go, let me get, because went into that rant, and Artemis put up that super chat. Shout out to Artemis with the $10 super chat. Here's my $10 per simp. Keep making great content, brother. Artemis, man, I love this. I love him, dude, man. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate everything you do for us on the channel and everything too. Go ahead, Slomo.
Yeah, but just like talking about like allowing kind of narratives to run, like this whole like I put it in our private chat, the Eurogamer article that talked about this mysterious nut and pause. That is in a screenshot from I think 4Gamer website, where it's showing this nut in like the vent in between the white part and the black part of the PS5, and it's just like all this. Well, maybe that's for being able to take the white parts off and put customizable shells on, or maybe that's where you'll be able to put in your expandable SSD, and it's just like no one knows anything. It's just like you can get it. Like, what's the purpose of holding this information back? Are you going to change how people put in their expandable storage? Probably not at this point. So just go ahead and talk about it. Like, it's just like this whole mysterious nut thing. It's just they're blowing this nut out of proportion. Like, man, it's just I'm sick of it. I just want the stuff to come out so that I can stop seeing YouTube videos of exaggerations of things and articles exaggerate or getting things completely wrong. I'm just sick of it. I just want them to drop already. I wish it was a month from now, so we could be closer to getting this stuff over with.
I know that's the biggest thing for me. I'm just ready. I'm so ready to just trade in my Xbox and trade in my PlayStation and just get these systems in my house so I could just be like, look, can we just talk about? And that's another thing too. I'm just ready to talk about just games instead of just hardware. I mean, granted, I know the hardware conversation is going to still continue because there's going to be Digital Foundry dropping, deuces every week because people are going to literally, it's like Digital Foundry going to hit 2 million subs during this generation because of these new systems and the comparisons they're going to do. So I think everybody's at this point is ready. So let's move over to the last topic, and it's basically just a really short one. We really don't know anything too much about it, but it's mostly Microsoft talking about, well, Phil Spencer came out and said that they're going to be showing more games, next gen games, very, very soon, meaning it has to be this month because the system releases in 39 days. What are we expecting to see from this? Or what is your level of expectations around whatever they're going to show? What do you want to see?
Games?
Yeah, well, it's going to be game. We already know everything about the console at this point.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I think they need to show people are some compelling games to get people saying, "Well, I need to go ahead and get that system," or "Hey, I'm signing up to Game Pass," or whatever. That's what they need to do. That's it. That's all they. If you have something to show, if there's something else from one of these 23 studios that's at the point where you can show it, you got a hype trailer to show that, hey, let's do it. But otherwise, I don't know what else you're going to be doing at that point.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, Assassin's Creed show that. Can we get actual gameplay that's, actually running on one of the systems for a change and not on a PC? And even the gameplay they show on PC doesn't even look all that good sometimes. Maybe it's just the environment they're showing it off in, but we haven't got that grand, how they open up the map and you're standing on top of a high structure and you see the draw distance and stuff like you normally see in Assassin's Creed. We really haven't gotten that in any of the demos. We got a lot of combat videos and stuff like that. So I'm really expecting to see a lot from that game. I don't know what's going on with Watch Dogs at this point because that game's supposed to come out in 2.5 weeks, and did it get delayed or something? They're not really talking about it. So this is really weird on what they could show. It could be a lot of stuff that's coming out, in during the first quarter of next year. Maybe a lot of stuff that's coming later on down the line. Maybe they are going to show off some of the enhancements that they did on the Bethesda collections that they're going to be releasing. Maybe we're going to get that type of stuff in line with what's going to be available in Game Pass. I just think at this point, Microsoft and Xbox just need to hold the line. They just need, right now, they have a lot of goodwill on their side. I think more of the more thought-provoking person understands that these games aren't coming anytime soon when it comes to the stuff that they show, like Fable and Hellblade, and we know Halo. Even though people think Halo's come out in 2021, I'm telling you that thing's not coming out next year. That thing's coming out the year after.
B Money said Ubisoft showed more of Watch Dogs today.
Oh, they did? Oh, thank God. Okay, well, fine. They did show. What was it? A Ubisoft forward today?
No, I think they're done with the forwards. I think they were only doing 2.
Okay.
And they already did 2, and they weren't that good either.
Yeah, shout out to B Money, man. I know when you saw that NBA trailer, you was like, hoo, let's go. Yeah, that trailer looked fire. But yeah, man, I think overall it just really comes down to messaging. Microsoft has the worst messaging of any company when they don't have to have it. It's like all you got to do is stay the course at this point. Talk about what's relevant. Talk about the reason you want people to be in the ecosystem. Show them the games that's going to be available for them in that ecosystem, running on the system, not somewhere else, running on a system with a controller in your hand, showing the ray tracing, showing the frames per second, showing what we are actually getting when it comes to this brand new system. Because trust me, a lot of people are basically on a hope and a prayer right now, because as much as I don't know what Destiny is going to look like. I'm just taking you off the word that Bungie said that it's going to run at 4K 60 frames per second with ray tracing. I'm taking their word for that because I think the system is powerful enough to at least give us that. So that's me basically jumping out there on a limb. But they really need to show people what the system is truly capable of, because guess what? Sony don't even want to show you what the system truly looks like. They showed you what it looks like, but they won't let you touch it. So it could have been a piece of plastic, all we know, and with no innards. But I digress on that. But ultimately, it really just comes back to
going to conspiracy theory territory there. Man.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I just do another shout out there. But ultimately,
I'm looking at Watch Dogs did a gameplay breakdown live stream on Twitch for like an hour. And
holy crap! Did they show the old lady again?
It visually looks good. I'm looking at like a black guy with a leopard jacket and a top hat. So yeah, it looks like you can dress your character.
Was it? I wonder if your
dead set characters, however you choose to dress them, because this outfit is ridiculous.
Is it? Does it show what kind of gameplay it is? PC, Xbox, PlayStation? Probably PC.
Definitely an Xbox controller in use, because I can see the
button prompts.
But I don't know if this is on PC or a Series X or whatever.
Artemis said that Tim Dog is saying that the event's going to be October 28th, which makes sense. It's about 2 weeks before, or just under 2 weeks before the launch.
What if they announced they acquired another major publisher? Like
who? 28th? I mean, you don't need Bungie because they already giving you the milk.
Major publisher, and no one cares about Bungie.
You did say publisher. Okay.
This is what I'm talking about.
Well, Bungie is a publisher.
Destiny talk.
They are a publisher. Okay, so
they're now a publisher.
Is there something still? Okay, so there's been a lot of news about the whole Sega thing and the whole thing with the electric shock controller, because it literally looks like it could be Sonic in disguise.
I think that's a bit of a reach. I think people.
I do too. Sega, I think people want it. But
it's a fire controller, but I don't know about.
That's a fire looking. But there was also other things like people doing the X, the X gonna give it to you. Emote on top of a box. I mean, a lot of this stuff is, you can't just hide this stuff, man. I'm not saying it's real. I'm just saying like it's very coincidental that this stuff is actually coming up and happening. It's very weird. Sonic movie was also a really good movie too, if you haven't seen it.
What movie?
Really, the Sonic movie was really, really good.
It was. Yeah, my kids loved
freaking it. Fire, bro. Yeah. Fire.
It was good. It was good. I'm glad they made the changes to the
the funny thing is, the funny thing is about that movie. Then I want to go into a big tirade about it. That movie would have been great. The story would have been great even with a terrible looking Sonic, but the terrible looking Sonic would have ruined the movie.
Yeah.
Because the story by itself, if you would have took the Sonic they had and put it in that movie, the story still would have been freaking phenomenal. But the fact that Sonic looked like a treasure trove made the movie just would have been bad.
Now, I agree with something B Money just said in the chat. He said, I could see Sega and Game Pass similar to EA too, because those games aren't heavily purchased on Xbox. And I think that's all they really need to do.
That's all they need.
They don't need to acquire Sega. Acquiring Sega they have good IP, but they got a lot of IP that's like,
they got anything that Atlas puts out.
Yeah, well, yeah. But a lot of their IP doesn't really resonate over here, but it's good to have that IP available. Everything that Atlas makes needs to be on Xbox. Like that should be a priority for them. And even though Shinji, whatever you want to call it, that's exclusive to Nintendo Switch, probably wouldn't go over. But if they could be able to somehow get Persona on Xbox, that would be a huge deal. That would be a huge get for them, because you're getting something that has never been on the Xbox platform. So yeah, and if they dropped $1 billion down on Sega and said, you bring your content over here now, and it goes in Game Pass,
and they just keep it in Game Pass.
That would be, and that would be cheaper. You're getting what you wanted out of it, which is Sega games on Game Pass, and you're not spending upwards of an additional like $6 or $7 billion to make it happen.
But you got to think too, because since most of especially the Atlas games, since they don't even come to Xbox, you're making profit off of something that never came over there anyway. So there's really no value you can really put on that, because it's like, well, you never sold it over here, so how much do we think it would actually sell?
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Artemis was talking about, he said Dragon Quest
It's not just Persona. I mean, Atlas has games like 13 Sentinels. Like 13
30
Sentinels
and it's a whole bunch of games.
I mean, like that game wasn't even on my radar. And shout out to guys like Kofi who are really big with the Japanese RPGs. And Kofi was talking about it. Then I checked it out, and next thing I know, I'm enjoying and playing the game. I haven't been playing as much as Genshin Impact recently, but game's really, really good, and that's a game that is exclusive to your competition. If you're Xbox, you want to be able to get a leg up on that. That's something that you imagine in the Japanese market, where they're far more inclined to want to play things on mobile than on consoles. If you're able to get that game in Game Pass, something like that in Game Pass, and then also get that into xCloud, now you're allowing a market that you have zero market share in. You're providing the kind of games they like in a format that they prefer. That your competition isn't doing.
Right.
That not saying you're going to like turn the tables in Japan. That's unrealistic, but it's a step in the right direction. I'm looking at this Watch Dogs Legion gameplay. It looks like, I mean, it looks like a better version of Watch Dogs 2. A better, like visually better, but as far as gameplay goes, I don't see anything like as far as how it plays. Watch Dogs 2 wasn't a bad game, but how this plays, I feel like this is mostly just Watch Dogs 2, but you can switch out to a group of like a cell of hackers and different people with different backgrounds and occupations, but the exact same gameplay. Like I'm looking at this guy driving in a car, and it's the same stuff you got before, where you can hack things and you're driving past them. It's just really I don't really see anything any different here than what they've done previously. But that's Ubisoft in a nutshell for the last half of this generation. Just doing the same things that they did before, big open worlds with a ton of filler content to do, but nothing that really is super unique. When I first saw this game, I'm like, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is where they need to be going, like showing us something that's really different. But then I'm looking at it and it's like, oh, okay, so this is Watch Dogs 2 with a couple of changes in a different setting. It's in London.
Right.
All right.
So before we get out of here, I do want to end the show. We'll take like 5 minutes and answer a couple questions that people have. Definitely want to get you guys involved at the very ends of the show, because we talked a lot, and a lot of stuff that people came in late probably didn't hear us talk about. So we'll take the next 5 minutes before we close the show up to go over any questions you guys have. I see that Artemis asked if what did you think about? He basically asked, is Genshin better than Nier?
Nier Automata? Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it is. It's a better game. I'm not going to say so story-wise. I'm now on the third act of Genshin Impact. I'm at adventure rank 14, almost 15. I'm still not able to do co-op. But it's, for me personally, I enjoy this more than I enjoyed Nier. And Nier was a cool game. I never finished it on PlayStation or PC. I always started and then lost interest like halfway through. But my interest in this game, I'm playing it on both platforms at the same time, and I'm really enjoying it. The characters are the world. I just like they resonate with me better than Nier did. So as far as gameplay wise, it's not like fairly deep. It's pretty basic, but it's fun, and so I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah, he also asked. He has an Alienware Steam box. I wonder how much you pay for that Steam box, sir. Definitely want to know that. Is it worth upgrading the RAM and the SSD? Man, if I remember what those Steam boxes were, man, it probably.
I'm about to look, because I don't remember. I don't remember what the Alienware
were. Yeah, on the Alienware one was. While you're doing that, what do you guys think about Crossfire X? I think the gameplay is really, really fun. I think it's very addicting, actually, if you got friends to play it with. I I don't know what the whole storyline thing is going to be for the single player, because of course that's separate from what we're going to get. That's going to be in Game Pass, and nobody's got a chance to see it yet. But overall, the gameplay is super fun. It's very, very. It's not fast paced, but it definitely can overwhelm you if you aren't paying attention to the little things that's happening in the game. But I definitely enjoyed the little bit that I did get a chance to play it.
All right, so I just looked up the Alienware Steam machine. What is weird is that for system specs, they've listed for GPU NVIDIA GeForce GTX, but not the actual.
So it's on board. So it's on board. It's integrated memory.
And it's only 2 gigs of memory.
Ugh, you just upgrade the whole damn thing.
Yeah, and the CPU is an i7 4765T.
Oh yeah, upgrade that thing, bro. Give that
to a nephew, your kid, your the hobo on the corner. not the hobo on the corner. He said he got it free. Cool. That keep that around.
But you keep it around and just you let
if you want to do some PC gaming, you want to do some PC gaming on some current stuff, you should probably go ahead and get something else. I mean, this is like the price of this is like $200. So I mean,
that's what's
that's that Steam controller. That Steam controller is
boo.
That's the worst controller I've ever used in my life. B Money asks, what's your adventure rank slow mo? Yeah, it's I'm on PC. My adventure rank is 14. I'm like right close to a 15, where I could then upgrade my my characters from level 20 up to I think level 40 at that point. And on PlayStation, I am adventure rank 12. So I've been kind of like doing one arc on PC, and then I go and do the other arc on PlayStation, just because I'm enjoying the game that much. And here's the weird thing: like I had no idea of how people were getting additional characters, because you get 4. Just by default, you get 4, and they're just the 4 main characters of the story. But then you can get these other characters too. Some of them you can get just by as you go up in adventure rank, quests open up for you, and then you can kind of meet these characters and get them that way, so you can get it through the game. Or they got this thing called the wish system, which is basically loot boxes. And although like this is where people go, oh, this is the gotcha system. Like I've been playing, I probably put in about 20 hours total in this game already. And I didn't even know that was there until I saw a video and someone brought it up, and I was like, oh, went in my game and looked at it. And the percentages are pretty low to get actual characters to add to your group. But on PlayStation, I had been playing so much, I had built up all of this in-game currency for that stuff. I didn't have to spend any money. It's like I had built up enough currency in-game to just get all these loot boxes. I spent probably about 30 minutes just using up all the in-game currency on that stuff, and I got like 4 characters out of that and a whole bunch of like really good weapons. And then I did it on PC and got 3 characters. So like it's it's pretty cool. The game's great. I'm getting close to the point where I can actually do co-op, and because
you maybe play this game.
Oh yeah, you should play. Why wouldn't you? It's a free game. It's a free game.
I have it installed, but I just haven't. I was worried. That last video that I made, it took a lot because it's like I was looking at my analytics and I was like, Jesus, I made a video in 5 days. I got to make a video, and yeah, I got bad habits. I like to stay up to 5 o'clock in the morning and watch other people's content instead of making my own. So
this game's addictive.
So like, I'm gonna be.
I've lost track of time. Probably, yeah. I've lost track of time playing this game. I was supposed to be doing some work for actual work last night, and I was playing Genshin Impact, and I looked and it was like 12:30, and I was like, damn, I didn't finish that. I didn't finish configuring that router. Let me go log in and try to take care of this real quick. And I didn't go to bed till like 2 a.m. But it's like you could very easily lose. There's so much to do. Like you can just not do any of the quests. Just go around and get into. I found this portal. It was so weird. Like so, I went to the complete east side of the map, and then like I went over there and I see this portal just swirling in the sky on a cliff, and I'm like, yo, what's that about? So I go over to it. Then I'm trying to figure out how to get into it. And I finally figured out to hit this to unlock this big like hole in the ground to shoot air current up so that when I pull out my glider, it just like shoots me higher than the portal and I can just fall right into it. And it teleported me to this little island that's like far east on the entire world. And it's just there's another portal there that I can't get into until I hit adventure rank 24. But there's like all this other like stuff going on. It's just there's too much going on in this game. And the developer MiHoYo, I thought they were a small developer. I saw something today that said that they got like 500 developers there. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense then. Why this game is so good, so high quality, for what I thought was a smaller team. But no. They apparently they almost the same size as 343 Industries.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, all right, well, brother, once again, you already know it's always a pleasure being here with you every week, man. People don't realize that the reason I think this podcast flows as well as it flows is because we genuinely like each other, and it's not just because we're like, oh, hey, man, we argue with each other a lot. I think we could tolerate each other. No, we legit are friends outside of all this stuff, and I truly appreciate doing this with you every week. And man, you bring the best out of me, and I hope I do the same thing for you. So,
oh, absolutely, man, absolutely.
So with that being said, brother, tell the people where they can find you on your amazing channel and everything you got going on over the next week.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Slow Mo Backslap, and that's all one word, Slow Mo Backslap. And I make my content, if you aren't aware of it, here's a great way to describe it. Everyone's talking about Genshin Impact. I was talking about Genshin Impact a year ago. So that's the best way to describe my channel. You will hear about games that no one else is talking about sooner than other people. And I try to make sure that everyone that is subbed and watching my content is informed of what's coming out and what to look out for and what's the promising game to look out for. And then every now and then I do a video focusing on developers and showcasing them and their history and how unique they are in the gaming industry and how they do their jobs and work, if I can find the information when I do my research. So yeah, and then I do videos just talking about what's going on too. So come check it out. If you like the content, subscribe, all that good stuff. But I should have a video talking about my confusion with some of the stuff that's going on with Sony and Microsoft recently, as well as some other things that I got in the pipeline. So come check it out.
Yeah, man, definitely. Always great to make sure you hit up his channel, man. He's getting close. He's close to 700, 300 away from 1,000. Let's get that man there as fast as possible. But outside of that, Gaming Forte, you already on the channel, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button if you want to hear more stuff like this. Check out my video I put up today, basically going over why you guys shouldn't buy a console unless you know why you're buying it. Because I think there's a misconception out there that a lot of people just want to buy a system just to say I belong to a club. No, man, because then you'll get upset when they don't give you what you want, just to be the gist of it. So, buy it if you want it, but only do it if it's got something on it that you want to buy. But check us out on Brat Podcast tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Me, myself, Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Slow Mo Backslap, me, B Money in the chat, Eric Jackson, and Brap himself, Enrique. It's going to be a great time over there. Check out Scumcast this weekend. It's going to be a lot of cool things being talked about on that show. Ashley Luca's always showing out and definitely always loving the content she's putting on her channel. And make sure you pay attention to those videos, man. They're short, they're sweet, they're to the point, and they're hilarious. So make sure you go check our channel out too. Outside of that, guys, you guys have a great week, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of the DPS podcast. Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.